Hi, I'm Chuck, and I'm going to fix my wife's FlatIron. Using the FlatIron proves to be an often painful experience. With temperatures exceeding 450 degrees and very little space for fingers to hold onto the iron, burns are nearly inevitable. In addition, the iron has titanium alloy wrapping that also heats, which increases usefulness as a hair tool, but also increases chance of burns and a morning rage. To counteract these side effects, I designed an extension that would use existing screw holes and allow for additional leverage and finger real estate for safety, while also having that fab hair. With drawing in hand, I sent the file to the Valley Library to print out the pattern for molding. That's it in the bottom right hand corner. Once the pattern was picked up, some of the artifacts from printing needed to be smoothed with files prior to casting. To make the extensions, I planned on using a silicone mold to make 2 polyurethane extensions, with silicone added to form pads for grip and heat resistance. After the rust spots were knocked down, I made a box out of plastic sheet and used copious amounts of hot glue to form the mold and seal the edges. Once the box was complete, I added the pattern in the middle and prepared for silicone casting. You can never have too much hot glue. After a couple of hits of mold release, I mixed the silicone with 1-1 and got ready to pour the mold. In hindsight, this box was quite a bit larger than it needed to be, so a second pour of silicone was required to fill the mold. Once the mold was filled, I saw some leakage despite all my hot glue and placed the mold on paper towels to sit overnight. Once the silicone cured, I cut out the pattern using a zigzag motion to allow alignment when casting the plastic parts. The pattern came out easily and the mold was ready for casting. After a spray and mold release, the polyurethane was mixed 1-1 and poured into the mold. Blue tape was used to keep the mold together, and I used a couple squeezes to make sure some air bubbles worked out of the mold. Unfortunately, I demolded a little too soon. Repeating the process with some mold release and blue tape, I remixed some polyurethane and poured it back into the mold for round 2. Using the same method, a second, more cleanly poured cast was made and was let to cure for 30 minutes with success. Off camera, I made a second cast that also came out. After casting, the pieces needed some smoothing and thinning of the tabs so that both could be attached to the iron without impeding FlatIron function. Much sanding ensued. Once the tabs had been sanded, the fit was checked, and more silicone was mixed to mold the finger pads. Using glue sticks to keep the extensions relatively level, blue painter's tape was wrapped around the extensions and sprayed with mold release. After the silicone set, the pieces were trimmed and then superglued into the grooves of the extensions. Now the moment of truth. The extensions were screwed onto the FlatIron after cleaning up the screw holes, and some hot glue was applied for some additional strength. Excelsior! With the extensions in place, the iron was easier to handle and maintain the clamping force needed. Plus, I heard a surprised approval during testing. If mass production were the goal, I'd injection mold these parts right into the case itself. Thank you for watching and listening to my brother's awesome soundtrack.